I'm a comedian, and my most recent set was delivered to an empty room. No, this is not a joke. It's not that I'm not funny either. My mom thinks I'm hilarious, which is obviously an infallible testament to my abilities. This wasn't one of those situations where I started with a full crowd, and by the middle of my rant on airplane food, they all left, leaving me on stage covered in tomatoes and with a slightly more deflated ego. No, when I say I delivered my most recent set to an empty room, I mean it. That's literally what I did from start to finish. That's what I was told to do. You want me to do what? I lowered my water bottle, staring up at the man who just delivered the news. Argyle, the event coordinator. The only way to describe Argyle is to say his parents made the right decision when naming him. With his frizzy red ponytail and hippie fit, he looked like he'd been booted off a concert tour in the 70s and survived on nothing but gas station food from that point onward. I said, Argyle repeated, crouching down next to the couch I was sprawled on. The boss man wants you to perform at 2 o'clock. What's the problem here? I frowned. What? But you said I can do 10 o'clock, right after McKinley finishes his gig. If you wanted me at 2 o'clock, why call me 5 fucking hours early? It's a last minute change. Our usual guy, Spike Scotch, you know him. He's, let's just say he's unavailable, Argyle said. Which is why we're moving you over to fill his slot. Again, what's the problem? The problem? I sat up straight. Dude, the problem is that the club closes at 1:45. Who exactly am I performing for if you guys kick everyone out by then? That's not for you to worry about. Right. Not having an audience definitely sounds like something I shouldn't be worrying about. Listen, kid, do you want your money or not? I'd consider 75 for the night to be pretty generous considering you're just starting out. Argyle gave me a pointed look. Fuck you, Argyle. I rolled my eyes. Okay, you win. Make it an even 100 and I'll do it. 80. No. 100. 85. 100. 90. 100. We ended up settling on $100. Jesus, the club must have been really desperate. I waited in the break room for 4 goddamn hours after Argyle left, watching as the other comedians and entertainers came and left, bidding me farewell when they did. And when the clock finally hit 1:45, the laughs and chatter slowly started to dissipate until it was completely gone. Dead silence. Hey, you ready? It was Argyle. He stood by the door, a man purse hoisted over his shoulder. I got to my feet, ignoring the white-hot needles prickling at my legs as I did. Wait, dude, you're leaving? Argyle raised his eyebrows. Yeah, it's 1:55. You've got to be kidding me, I said. There's no way. So you're just going to leave me here, alone? Who said you're going to be alone? I don't know why, but that sent a small shiver down my spine. I followed Argyle out of the break room, my heart palpitating at supersonic speeds. I'd been nervous before sets, but nothing compared to this. I thought the club owners were playing some weird prank on me. Maybe there would be a secret audience full of people, but they just told them to be silent. Then, right when the poor young comedian enters the room, they'd collectively yell, "Boo!" and we'd soon all go viral on TikTok. But that wasn't the case at all, seeing as the room really was empty. The tables and the chairs were all neatly put back in place. The staff were all gone too. What was especially strange, however, was that the lights were dimmed down more than normal. Candles were all that graced the otherwise clear tabletops, their soft luminescence barely illuminating anything. Good luck, kid, I heard Argyle say. He slapped me on the back. Just treat it like any other show. Don't be boring, because if you aren't funny, well, never mind, it doesn't matter. You're going to kill it in there. Sure, thanks. My mouth had gone very dry. Wait, but Argyle was gone. I looked around, baffled. Weird. I glanced at my watch, 1:59. I really wanted the $100, so I guess I didn't have a choice. With a deep breath, I took a step forward toward the stage. Usually, I'd be met with the spattering of totally deserved applause, but I was met with nothing this time. I'd probably down the spot, though, if I heard something even as benign as a cough. Hello, 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 I said once I reached the mic. Big turnout this evening, huh? Low-hanging fruit, I know, but it's not like I'd be met with jeers or anything. I cleared my throat. You know, some would say an empty room is a comedian's worst nightmare. I wouldn't say that, however. An empty room should really be considered a comedian's wet dream because I'd argue a full crowd is an even bigger nightmare. If we weren't afraid of people, we wouldn't be doing what we're doing. And the majority of us wouldn't be virgins either. I had to fill in the blanks to keep myself sane as the ludicrousy of the situation slowly started to catch up to me. The room was much colder than I remembered it being. It was almost like someone had deliberately cranked down the thermostat. My teeth started to chatter as I continued. Yes, so I hesitated. Speaking of sex, women, huh? Women. Love them. They don't really love me back, however, seeing as though my last relationship ended. I went on like this for a while, joke after joke after joke, burning through my material and being met with nothing but silence. I don't know why I was taking this so seriously. Again, I knew I looked like an idiot, talking out loud to an empty room. But something Argyle had said still stuck near the back of my mind. Just treat it like any other show. Don't be boring. Because if you aren't funny, well, never mind, it doesn't matter. I felt like it did matter, which is why I forced myself to keep going. My eyes scanning each tabletop as if they were trying to find anything remotely humanesque. But, of course, they found nothing. No one. My heart was still beating like a jackhammer and my teeth still chattered as I talked. Even though, objectively speaking, the room really was empty, I still felt like I was being watched. It wasn't a good feeling. No wonder Spike Scott suddenly became unavailable, I thought as I moved into my closer. I had met him a couple times. He was the one who originally suggested I perform at this club after seeing some of my material at an open mic event. Spike was one of the palest people I had met in my life, with gaunt-like features that screamed malnourished. He was wearing this large dark green woolen coat over what I could only guess were half a dozen other layers. His teeth were chattering too. I thought he was a Make-A-Wish kid when he first approached me, but it turned out the dude was a 40-year-old comedic veteran. All my friends in comedy told me he was a big deal, even though I'd never heard of him before. Yeah, he wanted me here. Something told me Spike never intended for me to perform at 10 p.m. to a full house, but to an empty one at 2 a.m. instead. And that's why 9/11 wasn't completely Al-Qaeda's fault, I concluded, finally. No, actually it was United's, for serving the worst meals known to mankind, even terrorists. Thank you. I bowed, pretending the room had burst into applause yet again, and I left, my stomach rolling with an odd mixture of both fear and, weirdly, excitement. I packed up my backpack in the break room, panting heavily as I did, and slung it over my shoulder. I then exited the club, escaping into the biting night. I was just about to turn the corner when I noticed something, however. Something that prompted me to share this story with all of you. Something horrifying. My heart still beating wildly, I tore my eyes away from the large dumpsters just behind the club, from what I'd just seen, and looked down at my phone. It was a message from Argyle. Hey man, nice work. Everyone loved you. Would you be free to perform tomorrow night as well? I quickly threw my phone back into my pocket and speed walked away from the dumpster. My blood as icy as the Arctic and my skin definitely a little paler now. More gaunt. I don't know if my eyes were playing tricks on me, but I swear I saw the dark green sleeve of a coat sticking out from the dumpster. Matted, dirty, and caked with just a sliver of dried blood.